Today, we're going to dive in on the question to pay or not to pay for the bar on your wedding day. We're going to cover the different types of packages typically available to a couple on their wedding day and give you tips on how to make the best decision for you and your family. My name's Abby Brown, and I'm taking all of the knowledge that I've learned from the last 8 years of owning and running a five-star wedding venue and sharing it with you for free. Because I believe that every couple should be able to plan a wow-worthy wedding for less stress and money than they ever thought possible, whether it's inside the four walls of the venue that I own or not. It's wedding planning for the modern couple. So let's dive in. Okay, my friends, deciding between a cash or an open bar for your wedding can be quite a toss-up. And you typically have friends or family that have strong opinions on what is right or wrong when it comes to the bar at a wedding. First, let me promise and let me tell you that there is no right answer. But I do want to dive into what options are available for you and make sure to describe what they mean so that way you can make the best choice for you and your wedding. Let's start with a cash bar. A cash bar is like your favorite local bar where guests are expected to purchase their drinks and pay for their own drinks. On the other hand, you may hear the term open bar. And this is where you, the host, the couple, the family, covers the cost of the drinks for your guests. Both have pros and cons. Let's tackle the cash bar option first. A cash bar option can significantly decrease your overall wedding alcohol expense. It also lessens the chance of your guests overindulging on the reception. The downside, some guests do find this approach to pay for their drinks a little unnerving. They don't always appreciate it. One option for the cash bar is to provide your guests with a drink or two on you. You can do this in a very classy way, such as providing tokens or even tickets on your menu that your guests will then give to the bartender to have free drinks. That way you can budget a little better how much alcohol you are willing to pay for. This also allows you to provide the bartender with extra tickets for people that you may want to cover the tab for, such as your bridal party, your family. And it also is just a nice gesture to your guests. If your guests brought you a gift, this is your gift to them saying thank you for coming to your wedding day. In the show notes, I've actually shared a few great options of tokens and tickets that we've seen go really well over at our venue as well. So you can use them as examples and you can find those in your show notes. Okay, next, let's chat about open bar. An open bar, while this is definitely the more expensive option, can level up the overall guest experience. So if you really have your guest experience top of mind, this really takes it to that next level and it shows a sense of lavish hospitality. But it can also lead to a hefty bar bill and perhaps a few too many tipsy uncles on the dance floor. Depending on your venue or your catering or whoever's providing this open bar option that you've selected, you might be able to mix or match the cash bar and the open bar option. I've seen many couples who do an open bar for beer and wine, means that they cover the tab for the beer and wine, but then they have a cash bar for mixed drinks or liquor option. Open bars are also usually split between either a tab that the couple pays at the end of the night. This is similar to your cash bar option, but the couple is the one who pays. And so your venue or your caterer would tally up the number of drinks and then you'd pay at the end of the night. Or there's also an all you can drink option, which is an hourly package, and that is typically priced per person. If you are given the option, if the venue says you can either do a tab or you can do a all you can drink option and you're unsure which is the most effective or the most cost conscious, I suggest running some quick napkin math. Our rule of thumb is to estimate 2 drinks per person in the first hour. So cocktail hour, that first hour reception. So 2 drinks per person, and then 1 drink per person every hour after that. We all know that this isn't going to be perfect because we know that some guests have less than that and some guests have enough drinks for multiple people. So we call it the law of averages for this calculation. What you're going to want to do is after you come up with that number, you're going to want to price it based on the average drink price. So if beer is $5, wine is $10, you are going to go somewhere in the middle when you are pricing out that drink per person. I also want to mention that for an open bar, it's really important to have a bar menu available for your guests. That way, your guests know which options are available to them, but also what options are covered. So, if you're covering only beer and wine, you'll want to make sure that there's a menu denoting that you're covering that and that liquor drinks have a price attached to them. You can check with your venue to see if they have a bar menu available for you to use, or ask them how they show the pricing for drinks. Or you can create your own unique bar menu showcasing custom drinks and other special details about your bar. We have many bar templates available for you in our shop that are customizable. So those links are listed in the show notes, but be sure to take a look at those because the bar menu helps alleviate a lot of questions on wedding day. The last option that I was worried about sharing, but I'm going to anyway, falls under the open bar section, but I split it out because it's very, very unique. And that is the BYOB option. BYOB is bring your own beverage. And if you're planning a backyard wedding or an event at a BYOB option or a BYOB venue, I want to make sure that we talk about the ins and outs of hosting a BYOB open bar. While it may sound like the most budget-friendly option, the BYOB beer option or BYOB alcohol option often leads to a lot of logistical headaches. To ensure that you have a smooth event, I really recommend that you consider hiring a bar service or a professional team to serve your drinks. Even if you're bringing in the alcohol yourself, make sure that you have somebody who is assigned to serve your drinks. Not only will this enhance your guest experience, but it'll also prevent any confusion and excessive drinking. However, your responsibilities don't stop at stocking up on alcohol. If you have BYOB, you're expected to bring not only the alcohol, beer, wine, liquor, you also need to consider bringing your serving utensils, the knives, the cutting boards, wine openers, napkins, stir sticks, mixers, as well as garnishes. You also don't want to forget the cups and cleaning products either. All of this is part of the bar and will make the bar run smoothly. On top of that, you need to make sure that you have enough coolers to keep everything cold. And you also need to make sure that you put the beer or wine or mixers in these coolers with plenty of time. That way you don't have warm beer served to your guests. And make sure they have plenty of ice and a reliable mode of transportation to get this alcohol from point A to point B, especially if you only have certain time to set up and tear down your venue. So while a BYOB option can be fun and a nice personalized touch to your event, it also requires a lot of extra planning and organization. If you do go with the BYOB option, I really want to recommend limiting the amount of options you provide. So maybe select 3 beers, 2 wines, a red and a white, and then your basic liquors, whiskey, rum, vodka, tequila, gin. You can even limit this down even more to a signature drink option. So you're only providing 2 liquors and the mixers for those. This really helps reduce the amount of leftovers and reduce any waste when you're purchasing the alcohol. We have a deep dive of signature drinks, and so we've actually created a freebie just for you. There are top 5 signature drinks that we provide at our venue, and you can download it for free using the link in the show notes. This will actually give you the recipes for signature drinks, so we can help make that BYOB option a little bit easier. Now I want to dive into the realities and give you some examples for these 3 different options. So let's take Bride A. Bride A opted for a cash bar. She managed to save around $2,000, which she was able to reallocate into a gourmet dessert bar. Guests loved it. So when you're thinking about a cash bar, you may be able to save some of your budget on the alcohol and be able to put it towards something else that you love and are excited for your wedding day. Now, bride B went for the open bar option. Yes, it definitely upped her budget for alcohol, upped her cost, but the guest raved about the party vibe. So she hosted the guests well and provided a great party because the drinks were flowing and guests didn't have to worry about it. Now, let's talk about bride C. She planned her DIY wedding with a BYOB option. Her costs were much, much lower because she had the ability to purchase alcohol in bulk. But she did have to haul out the remaining beverages at the end of the evening, which means that she had to shut down a little earlier and take all of the alcohol that was remaining and put it in her truck and exit the venue in a timely manner. So it made for logistics a little bit harder. So, my friends, your choice between a cash bar and an open bar should reflect your budget, your guests, and the kind of atmosphere that you want to create. Another important reminder that I share with all of my clients and all of my couples is that your guests will respect whichever bar selection you prefer. They just need to know about it ahead of time. So, setting their expectations, whether it's putting it on the invitation or the wedding website, even a sign at the wedding on the day of, will help them know if they need to bring their wallets or schedule an Uber on your wedding night. So, my friends, after going over the dilemmas, the pros and cons of each alcohol option, I want to cheers you on crafting the alcohol package that's just right for you. Comment below with any questions, and I can't wait to chat with you about your big day.